This entity is written in English as Hatmehit, but the Egyptian pronunciation was a bit more complicated. I'm not even going to try it here. This was a Nephilim that the ancient Egyptians worshipped. There's a statue of that demonic filth over here. She was the foremost of the fish, or she was the chief of the fish. Now in West Africa, she's called the Queen of the Coast. It's simple. That title comes down to the same, the foremost of the fish, or chief of the fish. Now when you look at Starbucks, you see Hatmehit right over there. But, of course, the world order today is Apollonian, so even though this goddess is used, they have to center it around Apollo. So what do you see here? You see that demonic filth right over here in black and white, which refers to Freemasonry, duality. You have 3 stars, each star is a sun, shaped in a triangle, which forms a pyramid, and the top star is in the crown, which signifies dominion. It's also called star bucks. The star means the sun. So you have 3 stars over here, 666, XXX, Helios, 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 right over there. And you have 1 circle over here, which symbolizes the sun. The second circle, inner circle, represents the second sun. And the third circle is the ovier, which represents the third sun. So 3 suns is XXX 666. So twice 666 is coded in here, and green is a color of witchcraft. Now, why am I pointing out this entity over here? It's because this entity is also worshipped by many of those pagan pastors within those Babylon churches. She's called the Queen of the Coast. And this entity, she is, according to human standards, good looking, but she's a Nephilim. So, because she's a Nephilim, she shouldn't be considered beautiful at all. Okay? I don't care which fallen ancient father this creep over here. What you should know is this creep exists. She roams around the Atlantic Ocean. And she has sirens, or other demonic entities, following her lead. And she has pastors from Western Africa, but also from the United States. And you have pagan businessmen who are often related to the financial sector that worship this entity in exchange for a paranormal cover. And often they need to conduct sexual crimes to honor this entity. That's why in pedophile rings, they make reference to this entity over here. This entity requires the victimization of young girls, and sometimes young boys, but especially girls, as part of the pact. Why do you think they put this entity with her both legs in the form of fins in the air? That's to signify sexual lewdness. And there are more hidden meanings in this symbol. I'm not going into all of it, but just understand. You can go to this coffee shop. I know outside the Netherlands, a coffee shop literally means a place to buy coffee. In the Netherlands, a coffee shop means where you go and buy weed. So you can go to a coffee shop and purchase coffee here if you want. It's just coffee. But just know the owners of this enterprise, they worship this entity. And they're very open in it. They don't even hide it. And those Babylon churches, they often hide it. But that's why I often hear that the pastor of that church began to sleep with the young girls of 12, 14 years old. Or you hear of all those sexual crimes of those pagan pastors because their charm comes from this demonic filth over here. They worship sirens, or also called mermaids. So, if you want to get involved with a business or with a congregation, just do your spiritual screening through the Holy Spirit before becoming involved. And there are many black people today, they want to worship those Egyptian gods. Don't do that. A lot of black people say, well, this Christ is a white man's religion. First of all, Christ was not white. That's one thing. Do your research. And secondly, Christ doesn't even want you to be in relation anyway. He wants you to serve him directly. But what you're now doing, if you are into Kemet worship, you want to go to those Egyptian gods, you are submitting yourself to lower demons who are low on the demonic hierarchy, while those racist institutions are using demonic spirits high on the hierarchy. So you think you're fighting white supremacy by going back to your, to quote unquote, African roots. These are not African roots. These are just demons. I don't care if those entities are also black-skinned. They are Nephilim filth. You should only worship Christ. Okay? Well, now you know why there's so much sexual violence against young girls in many of those pagan churches. It's because those pagan churches are pagan and they often get their power from this entity. Oh, what a creep. Well, that's it for now. Worship Christ alone. Do not follow those Egyptian gods. Be at peace.